walk you through the questions.
Hey, Gio, thanks for a couple minutes of your time. To the group, like normal, use the raise hand function and we will get to you momentarily. Anybody out there with a question for Gio? Okay. Looks like Gregory Hall will lead us off. Go ahead, Gregory.
Hey, Gio, thanks for taking the time, man. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the first, I guess, almost week of training camp and how things have been going.
Well, I think training camp so far has been pretty good. Secondary, just trying to get everything down, everybody getting reps. We got a lot of guys that have improved a lot. So everybody just getting reps, playing different positions, just trying to make the most out of everything.
And you're someone that Jay Bateman spoke highly of the other day and kind of have come in and been thrown through the crucible, as he called it. How would you describe your journey to get to where you are and earning potentially starters reps this season?
So my freshman year, I came in undersized and, just not really, I just wasn't ready at the time. So, I just worked really hard, just trying to understand the playbook, put on some weight and just look at the guys that were over me, Don Chapman, Cam Kelly, Trey Morrison, Miles Woolfolk when he was here. So just trying to learn from those guys and just emulate what they were doing, just to kind of put myself at a better position to be able to play. So, I went through a lot my freshman year, but I love how Coach Bateman coached me because if he didn't stay on me every day, I wouldn't have been where I'm at now.
All right, Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Staying on that, what were a couple of the most challenging things that you had to overcome that now when you look back on it, no issue at all anymore for you?
I'll probably say confidence. Just coming in as a freshman, I wasn't really super confident in my abilities to kind of go out there with those guys and just understanding the playbook. As a safety, you got to talk to everybody. So just me being able to understand the playbook and then just gaining confidence and then gaining the trust of my teammates and my coaches was the biggest obstacle I had to overcome. And once I did that, I've been feeling pretty comfortable back there.
It appears from our vantage point that last spring was huge for you. That's when you really kind of made your stride. Was there a moment or a sequence where you kind of thought to yourself, wow, I think I got it now. I think I'm really picking everything up and I'm in the right groove?
So during the springtime, I felt like I ended the season pretty well and, just practicing with the second team. And just during the springtime, I kind of my big thing was just telling myself, stay confident, you know what you're doing, lead, and just kind of follow guys that were back there with me. So I just think going into the spring, I just stayed confident, stayed in my playbook, stayed in the weight room and just kind of getting my body right just to make sure I could have the best spring possible.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Brandon Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Gio. Just in terms of on-field things that you were working on, not necessarily communication or frame, but what were the things that you were trying to improve on technique-wise? What are the things that Coach Bateman has really been stressing to you in that capacity since the spring or so?
Definitely just tracking the ball. When a ball pops loose and it's open field, just tracking the ball, making sure I track the near hip. Just my back pedal brakes, just stuff like that. Because it's so important as a safety to be able to tackle the ball in open field. So that was probably the biggest thing, just open field tackle that I'm still kind of working on, just trying to get down. So I definitely say open field tackles. That's what I'm still trying to work on.
Okay, CL Brown, go ahead.
Gio, what was the moment where it felt like things clicked for you, where you understood the scheme, where you felt like you were physically ready to go? When would you pinpoint that?
So for the scheme, when I understood the scheme perfectly, so that quarantine was like a blessing in disguise for me because I got to stay home, kind of get my body right, and just literally stay in the playbook. We had class and then meetings. So after every meeting, I write up on the board, what I'm doing, and kind of go over my dad. He's a coach. So just the spring was when the scheme, 2 springs ago, before last season, was definitely when the scheme worked for me. And then just getting my weight up, I came in at 174 pounds, and I'm around 198 right now. So just getting my weight up, being physically able to just play and just. So I'd say over last spring and throughout the season, and just still kind of now still working on my body, still working on everything, and just trying to learn every other spot, just not only in the secondary, linebackers and just what everybody has to do. So I'm still learning as we go.
Yeah, and a quick follow. The coaches poll just came out today. You guys are number 9. How do you feel like you're better equipped to handle than Coach Brown always goes back to last year when you were number 5 going into Florida State and didn't handle that well? How do you feel like you guys are better equipped this season to kind of handle that top 10 expectation?
Yes, sir. I think we got a lot more maturity on the team. You know, guys understand what's at stake this year. You know, I think we understand that this team is the one that can do it this year. So I think last year we just were young. We didn't really understand how big of a moment that could have been for us. I think this year we're way more mature. Guys are in their playbooks more. Guys are in the film room more. And everybody's just working really hard.
Thank you.
Okay, 2 more for Gio. Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Hey, Gio, given the fact that so many guys on defense are back from last year, have you seen Jay Bateman add layers of complexity to the scheme that was already there? Or how would you kind of describe how the defense has changed a little bit?
So I'd say from my freshman year, when Coach Bateman first got here, it was more so just getting everybody down so they understood the plays and we were understanding, all right, if we call this coverage, what is the call if they come out 2x2 versus 3x1? And now it's more so Coach Bateman doesn't have to coach anybody in the secondary unless they just came in on what are you calling in 2x2 versus 3x1. It's more so, all right, if they give us this formation, these are routes or this is what can come out of it. So I think it's not as complex. It's more so he's just giving us a new layer of what could happen. So it's just elevating our game a little bit more.
And where are you playing primarily?
So I'm playing at the free safety and bandit position. So I'm just going back and forth, just playing both spots right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ross Martin.
Hey, what's that bandit position, Gio? Can you explain that?
Excuse me?
What is the bandit position you just mentioned?
Bandits are boundary safety. So it's
Okay,
what Cam Kelly played a lot last year, Don Chapman, Miles Woolfolk.
gotcha. And my question was about your weight gain. You said you gained nearly 20 pounds since you've arrived as a freshman. What have you done to kind of gain weight? What's the process been like in terms of diet and I guess weight training?
So really just when like I said, when quarantine first started, we didn't have our spring ball. I stayed in Maryland with my dad and just kind of ate. Like we made a plan like 3,500 calories a day and just like going at it because I'm not a big eater. And then just staying with Kelsey. You know, Kelsey's really great. She's just put me onto a lot of different things to help get my weight up and maintain it. And I love the weight I'm at right now. So I'm just trying to maintain, but just eating way more, eating throughout the day, and just trying to stay on top of it.
And a quick follow-up, you go against the wide receivers, obviously. Any players that are standing out to you? Any guys that you've seen kind of jump out in the first 6 days of training camp?
Yeah, so obviously Josh Downs, he's electric. You know, he's gonna have a great year this year. Another player that I think is standing out, well, 2 players, is Steven Gosnell and Justin Olsen. Those are 2 guys that I really think are gonna have a great year. They're gonna have a great year for us. I don't really guard the outside receivers as much, but I think the freshman Bryson Nesbitt is also gonna be a really good player for us.
Great. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, Gio, thanks